Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the Bacchus Pro Gaming Series 2017 Summer Split rather. We'll be your shoutcasters for the second game. I'm Atlas. With me is Vulcan. We just got back from that really dominating game coming from Team Manila Eagles. What do you have to say about that one?
I gotta say that still Marky remains as one of the best ADCs entering the Summer Split, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, actually, it changed my opinion because coming into Summer Split, I said that I like hate more. But now, after seeing the performance, Marky really changed my opinion on who was the best AD carry in the Summer Split.
And also, the best top laner would be JLC with those teleport plays, really diving into the bottom lane, helping secure the lead for Marky and carrying to the game until AEX just crumbled.
So of course, for every match we have for today, so we have 3 matches, we'll be having one per match, one match and win code. You'll be just fill in the missing character in your client, and you'll be able to win a 250 RP skin. Here's our schedule for today. Match 1, of course, game 1 was Manila Eagles winning that. Acclaim Empire X has to recover from their loss. The match 2 and match 3 will be Asian Arena versus Jangski, followed by IPT versus Mineski.
And this is actually a crucial match for TME. If they manage to sweep AEX,
continuing it,
convincing victory, that would be just pure domination, and that will secure them towards the Rampage stage, without a doubt. But to the standings we've seen so far, let us break it down here. There's 7 games, all victory, and the points of 10. If they manage to win this second game, this will become 12 points. And with that being said, I think Team Manila Eagles will be sitting at the Rampage stage waiting for their competitors.
Yeah, definitely. Undefeated through the entire split so far. That's definitely something impressive. You cannot deny how much more powerful TME looks in this split. So,
and to the viewers out there, I hope you're excited as we are. We are seeing a rise of a new champion, possibly. I mean, TME entering the Summer Split very dominating is something that will caught us by surprise. I gotta break it down, man. I never really thought that TME, with the current roster changes, will make it this far with undefeated streak.
Yeah, so far, I was thinking IPT would have a greater performance, but of course, JLC being on TME, the Dark JLC, that's the meme. The Dark JLC is so strong for TME, plus the rest of the roster cannot be underestimated. Trevor, Marky, everyone on that team is scary.
And to the viewers out there, and to our working summoners, remember that we are still running the summoner shift. This promo is open to all employees. July 1, Saturday, 10 a.m. at the G1 Gaming Cafe at Guadalupe.
Of course, you might win free starter codes, win merchandise as well, and there's a 40,000 RP prize pool. We also have mini games just for fun. So all of you employees out there, after work, just relieve all that stress on July 1. That's going to be Saturday, 10 a.m. as Vulcan said. Just join, register. It'll be great.
And let's go back towards the last game of TME against AEX.
AEX really has their backs to the wall here. Of course, in terms of the standings, they are still second place. But if they get at least 1 win against Team Manila Eagles, they will break TME's streak, and 2, their chances of being in Rampage are actually much bigger if they actually get at least 1 win against the strongest team right now in PGS.
I think that's going to be a really tall order for AEX, but on to the drafting phase.
Let's get to the drafting phase here. That's where it all begins. The drafting phase will dictate how the rest of the game will be played. Of course, Acclaim Empire X banning out the Lulu priority. Even though they are on blue side, they might be setting up for a Karma first pick here. If they are banning the Lulu, we'll see if TME will respond to that with their own support ban. But the Kazakhs will be their priority for the ban here against Tamsu. Definitely something powerful, and Assassin, and how Tamsu plays very aggressively as well. The Kazakhs taken away from him actually hurts him a little bit.
Very interesting bans coming from TME, knowing that they know who to target ban. And we've seen AEX roster changes, but I gotta say the roster changes are very promising for AEX, but has yet to deliver. I mean, they have these players coming from all teams merging in, especially Murmu will be switching out. It now will be Genvi joining in for this game.
Gonna be interesting how Genvi performs in this one. The Twitch is banned against him. course, we've seen a switch quite powerful as well in the previous split. And the ban against Coops, or actually just a general very good ban, is the Zac. Very powerful, lots of pressure, long range engage from the elastic sliding shot, plus how disruptive stretching strikes can be. Definitely a good ban. Shen banned out against Cannon. Do not want Gen V to get that protection from the top lane as well. Though, yeah, it was JLC that played at Shen, but seems like, okay, AEX taking away the Xayah coming from Marky. They seem to be wanting to choke him out a little bit. We'll see if TME goes for another Cannon game. It will depend on the rest of the compositions here.
And knowing that the Shen has been banned, so I wonder what kind of marksman will TME pick up. But knowing from the recent nerfs onto the Xayah, not a huge nerf, but it's still not a nerf in the sense that it hurts the skating, but the fact that he cannot attack when he uses that Q.
Yeah, having the buffer on your auto attack as well, you lose on average, like, I don't know, 100 damage, 50 damage. It actually might be big in lane, because that one feather that you lose from not being able to attack while throwing out daggers actually hurts your E as well, your blade caller. So that might be one tool taken away from Xayah, but it's not too big of a nerf, because late game, Xayah will still put out like 6 or 7 feathers before using the E. It's still going to hurt. TME prioritizing the Sejuani and the Thresh here. Sejuani, they might be going for another 3 or 4 melee composition here. Seeing it's a lot of support coming for that Lucian for Marky. It can also go to Trevor, mid Lucian, something that we have seen a few times in the competitive scene everywhere. As for AEX, they'll be picking up that very flexible Galio as well as Zyra.
Bans onto Orianna, and we're already seeing the flexi pick, so this really throws anyone's master prediction gaming off.
Yeah, it could be mid Galio. It is definitely useful. It seems like the Cannon will be banned against Marky. So they're predicting that the Lucian could go mid. So they will be banning out the Cannon here. Even the top lane Cannon could actually be very scary on JLC. Looking at this though, more mid lane bans against AEX. Awaken will not be playing the Syndra today. Gragas, another flex ban, top lane or jungle against both Coops and JLC. Seems like ooh, that might be top lane Jarvan or the jungle.
I would say for the jungle. We've seen JLC on the Sejuani.
Sejuani is definitely powerful. So much pressure coming from that when the teleport plays happen. The CC lock that can happen from the Sejuani top lane. Definitely scary. Seeing how AEX responds to this with their final 2 picks.
Really planning out their drafting phase really properly so that AEX will have a better start. I got surprised when AEX picked up the jungle Graves. Not anymore, we still see those jungle Graves.
It's not as dominating as before. The base damages have been lowered, which actually hurts his early game dueling and his ganking as very well.
So generally a huge setback for the Graves' early aggression. You better off picking a Kha'Zix.
The Lee Sin actually one of very good substitute here for that Kha'Zix. The early game pressure from the Lee Sin with Tamsur playing that champion, they have to watch out for the early game ganks here. The pressure, it seems like it will be the top lane Galio. Top lane Galio is still very powerful. I don't think it's as good as mid lane Galio, because when you're mid lane Galio, the range of your hero's entrance, you can actually go to any lane. It's like a secondary teleport. You can roam a lot, resist a lot of magic damage, but top lane, it's still very good, especially since the top lane matchup will actually be on the Sejuani, and Trevor on that Zed against that Ahri will be the matchup we'll be seeing.
Well, I wonder how it'll turn up for Awaken against Trevor. A Zed against an Ahri, we'll see later in the match, but here are the final lockdowns. Top Galio, as you said, but Tamsur really has to perform properly this time as a jungler. We have yet to see him dictate the lanes, really help out the lanes properly as a jungler. In game 1, the Graves was really just a liability for them.
Yeah, if a Graves gets behind, not being able to put out as much damage as he can, definitely useless. Here Tamsur now it's actually more pressure on him now, on that Lee Sin, because it topples down much faster if it doesn't get ahead. And the pressure, definitely all these lanes needed. The Zed, Sejuani, the Lucian, all these are scary if left unchecked. So Tamsur needs to put out a lot of work this game.
Very close game for them. I mean, that what game really was something AEX could have won if they haven't been feeding, let's say, feeding the top lane and the bottom lane, because we've seen how AEX plays. When they see an opportunity to end close the game, they take it. but they couldn't do it knowing that all lanes were fed so much.
Yeah, they were so behind that game.
They knew how to siege, they knew how to push properly, but the fact that members of AEX were hungry could not even help out in terms of damage output. But gotta say, this time AEX's draft so far looks pretty solid.
So solid indeed. They have a pretty good front line on Cannon. Tomzo as well will transition to a good front line later in the game. And there's a good back line as well. Lots of damage come from Gen B, not just sustained damage, but Xayah has so much unexpected burst as well with the Blade Caller and the Feather Storm.
Let's see, with Gen B taking away Marky, Xayah, how will Marky feel about it? We'll see in the bottom lane. He is now on a Lucian.
Lucian still very much a playmaking AD carry. And how Marky can actually play that. We'll see how it all plays out once the game actually begins. Of course, we're loaded now onto the Rift for the second game of the first match today, AEX versus TME. Will AEX recover and finish TME's winning streak, or will TME still go for all of those wins straight to Rampage?
And will TME still remain as one of the most dominating PGS team entering the summer split? And how will AEX shut them down? We'll see in this last game.
Definitely their backs to the wall here. Want to get at least 1 point in this match. Definitely a difficult match in the power rankings, but still getting at least 1 point here brings AEX closer to Rampage. And TME, they are looking to just continue their win streak.
I'm pretty excited to see how it will turn out for TME.
Very, very solid so far.
Very solid, very strong. The roster changes is really complementing them so well. Not to mention for JLC in the top lane, always dominating. This has been his best split so far, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, strong, very strong. After transitioning to TME, seems like the rest of his team, the synergy is already there, it seems. We're seeing a few of the starts here. Refillable potion, the new 7.12 icon for that refillable potion. Definitely stands out.
Very pretty.
Very shiny. We'll see how the players do out their level 1s. It seems like just regular lines of scrimmage to protect the entrances of their jungle. And TME, Coops actually denying the blast cone from any steals happening from AEX. Seems like just standard starts here around the bot side. So it means that the mid lane and top lane will be the priority of the first ganks here.
And it has to be the bottom lane. I don't think the top lane should be even focused on, because we are seeing JLC on a Sejuani, a Galio, very tanky, beefy top laners. So stick to the old game. Shut down the bottom lane. Whoever gets the first blood and the snowball will win in the late game. We did see that for game 1.
The Raptor start for Tomzo definitely gives him a little more freedom to time his ganks, to do his pathing. But with how bot lane is playing here, imagine what's happening down there. Gen B and Vanguard, they are actually pushing in Marky and Ross so that they don't get the early level 2, so they get the level 2 ahead of them, which means it's going to be hard for Tomzo to gank here. So actually all of the lanes, both lanes here, mid lane and bot lane for AEX, pushing down their opponents. So it seems like the junglers will meet more at the top side.
Top side in the river. I can see Coops though just warning out his enemy territory, seeing really denying Tomzo.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of time
that
wasted.
Just scared him away.
Just the ward there. The vision is so scary, because that means Coops knows exactly where Tomzo is. And this gives Coops a little more freedom to pressure mid lane. Tomzo being scared away from his blue buff cuts down the time.
Yeah, and not to mention his level 3 spike. Win without fighting.
Win without fighting indeed. Just put down a ward, flop. Tomzo scared out of his mind. That's actually super big, because it denies him experience gold, the blue buff, and just delays his timing for his ganks. Look at, wow, Coops. The pathing here, so good for Coops here. Of course, he did skip a lot of his camps in his own side, but with this, he's putting down a lot of pressure, a lot of vision, and seems like he will go for the bot lane gank here. Wow, they're not expecting it.
Not expecting it at all. Gen B gets caught off guard. A first blood will be gone to Coops.
Kill secured buy that Jarvan on the 4th there.
Feel secure.
Yeah. Seemed like Marky and Rox already had that kill, but seemed like Coops a little bit hungry for the first blood. Gets the 400 gold, which on a jungler, actually pretty major, gives him closer to his first item spike on his enchantment.
And this is a message the TME is giving to AEX. Take away my precious Zaya, you will pay a heavy price.
How the pathing of those junglers was very strange. Very well played come from Coops and Tomsu losing a lot of time in the top lane because first he had to confirm, are they going for my blue buff? And he makes a decision, okay, I'll just go for my wolves first. That delays him by like 12 seconds, and that 12 seconds can actually mean so much in when you gank, when you can counter gank, which left bot lane open.
And because of this, I think we'll be seeing Coops pressuring the jungle more, knowing that he does have the confidence with those wards placed really deep inside Tamsu's jungle.
Next gank will be on Cannon here, definitely, because he is pushed out.
No wards in place. He does use his Justice Punch. He now only has his flash remaining. He does get denied with the taunt, but in the end, he will still get permafrost. That's a lot of kills. Pressure onto Cannon. Thinking it's 30 hits. That will be a trade-off for summoner spells, but 2 for 1. AEX is looking pretty happy with that.
Definitely happy. This gives JLC actually a good back timer if he pushes it down, but Cannon with his corrupting potion seems to be staying around, really standing his ground here. Tamsu still being pressured even by Trevor.
This is bad news for Tamsu. He's been spotted all throughout his jungle, so that removes his pressure as a jungler and gives TME more room to play it safer and also predict where Tamsu will pass, and Coops will be left to just being this dominant jungler.
I like how TME is playing this so far. Instead of it's just Coops pressuring the jungle, it's everyone. Trevor putting down deep wards on his own means that not only does he give himself safety, it also gives the rest of his team so much information. And because pressuring is not just the jungler's job. If the mid lane can also do his job to ward out and spot out the opposing jungler, it's so good for the rest of the team. Actually helps so much.
With the first point in the hands of Coops, that's going to help him, as you said, Atlas, be that annoying guy in the jungle. Also for Townsend, knowing that he is a Lee Sin, and when you know where Lee Sin is pathing, you know that you're in for a bad time.
Because the power of Lee Sin when it ganks is he can bypass so much warding. The usual warding positions usually don't mean anything to a good Lee Sin. But since they spot out Tamsu before he can even position himself to gank, that means that TME can already react before he even goes for it. Of course, he still has a lot of potential right now. He can go for a lane gank. There is no vision on TME side, and Marky is positioning very dangerously.
Also for
that's the root.
There is the hook plus combo. Marky manages to back away, but we'll be seeing Coops maybe joining the fight.
A little bit behind there.
Going for a choke point. Genvi gets knocked up, and that would be a flash heal burn onto Genvi. Teleport's coming in, but Tamsu manages to secure the kill. GLC still onto Genvi, picks up the kill, and now he's left alone. Rox though, where's his lantern? A bit short on the cooldown, but in the mid lane, that's actually an outplay for Trevor. He managed to dodge those shots coming in from Awaken.
That was a 2 for 2 across the board, but very well played there by AEX. They seem to be quite behind at first, but they dodge out most of the damage, most of the crucial damage, and Coops, because his flash was down, JLC's flash was also down there was no way for him to escape once he committed to that. And he was also a level behind, because when you consider Tamsu recovering quite a bit from, of course he gets spotted out, but he still continues his pathing, gets the XP, while Coops focusing a lot more on ganking, leaves a lot of his camps up alive actually, the blue buff as well as the entirety of his top side, leaves him behind a little bit in experience, and Trevor might be in trouble. Ooh, very nice. Very, very nice. Just being able to dodge out the taunt with the shadow and the flash. Very well played, because if he got taunted there by even a second, that would have been a dead Trevor.
And the fact that he knows how to move around, let's see.
Now let's break down there. The flash and Genvi plus the heal actually denies the kill from Coops, and they get the revenge kill. Marky and Rox cannot contribute to that fight anymore because Marky's a little bit too low to actually help out, which means JLC is quite alone. He does get the kill onto the AD carry there, but he gets revenge killed as well. That's actually 2 assists onto Genvi.
Look at the burst coming in from Cannon. That's a lot of damage, but for JLC as a Sejuani, he does deliver the same burst type of damage, but From that setback in the bottom lane, Marky still got some 2 assists, but that's very small goal. But the focus right now would be on the CS. Look at that, 75 to 48.
Man, 30. That's around 5 waves of minions over AEX. That's worth around, like, what, 600 gold? It's actually huge when you consider it. And this actually means Marky is above him in terms of the itemization. He has the longsword and the BF sword.
All Rocks though making the plays with the plays, secures it with a hook and a box. Genvi is stuck there, and here comes Coops getting knocked back, but it'll be Rock securing the kill. Goes in for the flash in play, and the Cataclysm! A bit of an overkill. Still though, goes on to Marky.
Gets dunked. Here comes Trevor now.
Trevor though gets knocked back, and he still has the death mark. Cannot get away from that with 3 members responding towards the mid lane.
This might be the mid lane turret. Cannon, Tamsu, and Awaken wailing on that mid lane turret. Now it's going to be a race, but
it's gonna be TME.
yeah, Coops has the red buff, which is actually huge when racing for these pushes. They do get the tower here. Plus, you know, Marky with a light slinger. Seems like they knew that they would definitely get the first turret first, so they allow a little bit more of the wave to be taken out on their side to bounce back the minion wave.
And 650 gold onto Marky. That's like
that's huge.
That's like 2 kills for Marky, so that his gold value would be 303, and a BF sword, a longsword. That's a huge lead for Marky.
40 CS as well is huge. Tamsu will be trading this out with the Rift Herald after the losses that AEX suffered in the bot lane. Now it's going to be the Rift Herald. Will they be able to use it? Because we know that AEX has this short history in the PGS of being able to use the Rift Herald effectively.
For once.
Yeah, but against TME, a strong team like TME, we'll be seeing how they'll be able to use this.
I wonder how they can use it properly, because judging from the stats over the board, we're seeing that Genvi and Vanguard, especially Genvi, 0-3-2 on a Xayah with a huge deficit in terms of gold. I don't think they have the freedom to do that. And knowing that Marky already completed that Essence Reaver.
Oh man, that is definitely scary. But they can go for the bot lane here because JLC is a little bit behind. Equal in terms of, almost equal in terms of skill score, but okay.
Pretty close call for Genvi. And interesting itemization from Marky. An Essence Reaver instead of a Blade of the Ruined King.
Yeah, instead of going for the early game spike, going for a lot of crits here, as well as the mana regen for Marky. And it's a valid choice of itemization. We'll see how effective it is compared to the usual Blade of the Ruined King start.
Maybe it will complement his playstyle, that's why he picked it up, but we'll see how he will be using it in terms of his value.
Because definitely the damage on the Essence Reaver, and his next item will probably be another crit item, attack speed. It definitely helps him out. It does give him CDR as well as more DPS compared to the Blade of the Ruined King.
Oh, here comes setup from Rocks again. Marky gets exhausted and heals, but he stepped too close. The Thorns get knocked off.
This might be an opportunity for them to use a Rift Herald. There are 3 members up in the top lane. Trevor cannot leave his mid lane a little bit too long. This actually might be an opportunity for them to use that. It seems like they will pull away from it for now.
Teleports are both off for both teams, so play it safe. Do not waste the only objective they've secured so far, which is the Rift Herald.
Yeah, maximizing the 5-second recall on Tamsu as well. It's pretty effective here.
Oh man, Deathmark, the dodge, the Lee Sin, but Tamsin knows better. Kill trade so far, but still, Trevor, I think, is happy with that. Tamsin invested a bit too much time there.
Like, he put himself in a lot of risk trying to go for that. The Deathmark kills him off in the end. We'll see. This top lane seems like they're still going to be set up for Marky here. Coop staying around that top side, really wanting to spill Genvi's blood.
Also, the revenge that you take away my Xayah.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to play Xayah if you let me do it so far, but we're seeing that Marky on Illusion does not know the proper placements for the Zyra. Struggle, of course, but we'll see. Oh, Genvi has a magnet onto him. Marky picks up an easy kill. Teleport coming in. Here comes JLC. Turret is very low. Should Cannon commit to this teleport? Still pushes through. We might see a flag, but not happening.
Awaken is on his way here. It's going to be very dangerous for TME to continue to siege. They do have a lot of their ultimates still up. Awaken going to be pressuring that mid lane, so Awaken cannot go for the top lane too freely. Now AEX, where are they going to rotate next? They get a lot of chunk damage on the top lane turret, but it would be too risky to actually force it. So they get their bearings together and then recall out of there.
Well, this is what I love about the PGS Summer Split. New roster changes, new teams. We don't see the same usual roster. And when we talk about teams that we've seen performing really well, they're not the same team because they're not the same members and not the same identity they had during the last split. This is very interesting, seeing how TME did not perform that well in the last split.
It's very refreshing to see. Like all of their members actually very refreshing to see in a PGS. The mechanical skill as well as the macro play is definitely there. And the synergy, you can see the synergy actually being there for the bot lane, like Kups and Marky.
Oh, wow.
Oh man.
The pressure is really on Trevor, but Cannon trying to back away. He does burn his flash. The Cataclysm will block him away. Cannon dodges the death sentence. Kups takes in some turret hits, and now I think we're going to be seeing pressure in the bottom lane. The Rift Herald is now live.
Yes, but after seeing that flash in her top lane, Cannon so tanky.
Oh boy, from the backside though, Vanguard gets taken down by Trevor.
It's not phased the AEX though.
Oh no, Cannon 3 against 1. Bit of an overkill, but Marky will be happy with the free kill he got from the top lane. Bit of a trade-off because you get a kill off the Marky and you get a turret.
The Rift Herald is still alive there in bot lane, though we'll see how TME is coping with that. It's actually actually did die right there, so this stops most of the push. And while TME is still going for it, 3 members, it's just going to be Vanguard defending against right now. Seems like the bot lane, Gen V and Vanguard.
Oh, they're still going for it.
Yeah, they are definitely going for it because there's no one on AEX's side that can stop it right now. They know that TME was committing to the top side and AEX was committed to the bot side. And because the Rift Herald actually got taken down already, and JLC has enough wave clear on its own along with Trevor, they are able to stop that bot lane push. And since AEX cannot recall too closely, they have to walk all the way down to the brush in the bot lane, which means that TME was free to just take that second tier top lane turret.
And now they're taking the mid lane turret.
The rotations from TME is definitely surprising and on point.
Awaken trying to defend it. Damsu making a clever move, backs out Trevor, and there is Awaken. Trevor still gets taken down. The moves from Damsu.
And gets dunked there. Damsu being able to make that decisive play, stops the push, saves the turret. Still, that turret though went to 10% health. It's definitely dangerous, but now AEX is in a position to take down this mid lane turret very quickly.
Yeah, Mark is not there to respond to that, so turret scores will be evened out to 3-3 for AEX. They still have more pressure in the mid lane compared to the other lanes for TME. Oh, they're still going for it.
They are still going
for
it.
They're not resting. This is AEX we're talking about, and there will be a... wow, that's a huge health loss from the inhibitor mid lane turret.
It is going to be the inhibitor turret, which can regenerate its own health, but after
slow.
a while. But if TME can repel the offensive from AEX in the future minutes, then that turret will recover a lot of health.
They really like to go all in.
Yeah, but AEX definitely, very decisive. Once they get the kill against TME there in the mid lane, they know, okay, they cannot fight us just yet. So let's go all the way to the inhibitor turret. Almost taking it down. I like the rotations from both of these teams. I like their decision making as well. The synergy for both of these teams still there.
Oh, Rocks looking for some blood. Oh, pretty close on the Gen V, but JLC will be going in for the front line. We can see that Gen V Awaken waiting for the right time to go in, but JLC is such a front liner. Damsu cannot land those crucial strikes to set up the clash, and now TME will be pushing the mid lane. Outer turret very low on health though. Damsu still missed again, but we do see Cannon in the rush side. Might set up for Marky. And
that might be the only thing they went there for. And they have a huge wave building down bot lane, so of course, where do they rotate? They just completely ignore the Clown Drake, and just go for the more important objective, probably the bot lane. Actually, no, they do not ignore it, but there is still a huge wave building, splitting up their team.
It will just be Trevor pushing that bot lane turn just enough.
It is free. It is a free Drake. Seems like they will not go for the bot lane turret too hard. That they are pushing it out to put out a little bit more pressure for the other lanes, forcing AEX to defend that bot lane.
Things are looking pretty even. I mean, AEX, when they know they've killed one of the key members, and they did see Marky in the top lane, just run it out mid, take down all these turrets, and this is the point of the game. Taking down turrets, getting the base, and that's how AEX played, and that's how scary AEX can be. When you just 1 or 2 members down, that's already a sure green light for AEX to go all in.
They're definitely decisive when they go for these objectives. And it actually paid off for them, putting the gold lead for TME only for like 2.4k, which means that the lead, after you spread it down, at this point, the items are actually not too big. Still, Marky so ahead in gold. So that's actually the big thing. That gold lead that TME has probably concentrated around Marky. So once Marky gets taken down or neutralized, AEX can actually freely go for these objectives.
We're seeing very new unique items coming from Marky's solution. We don't really see a Black Cleaver or a Blade of King, but this time we're going to be seeing a Rapid Fire Cannon and an Essence Reaver, something that you would see on a Xayah.
Yeah, he thinks he's still playing Xayah, but still, this CDR crit build
It's still
on
well.
Lucian still works very effectively and actually deals a lot more damage in these quick engages that AEX wants to do.
And also the Blade of Rokin has been nerfed in terms
Yes.
of its value, and I think this is something Marky thinks he's picked up and it's working pretty well for him, but Trevor really is getting pinned down by the members if AEX. It should be the bottom lane getting the punishment, but we're seeing it in the mid lane.
We'll see TME waiting around the wings around this Baron pit.
Oh boy, that is a blind spot.
Oh,
Garena!
wait for it!
Wait for it, and Genvi gets prisoned by Cubs, and that'll be a kill. 1 man down, TME coming on top. Awaken bumps into the wall, goes in for Marky. Cannon though really trying to zone out Marky. Cubs will try to buy some time for his team. But we can see that Marky is left alone. Awaken from the side, going in onto Marky. Manages to miss the charm, and a death sentence connects onto Awaken. And JLC just being JLC.
So going for it. Gets smacked down by JLC. That's going to be an ace. After a very decisive pickoff against Genvi. Of course, after that, Cannon dealt so much damage and tanked a lot of hits there in the back line, which actually held AX's line a little longer. But the DPS coming from the Essence Reaver and the Rapid Fire Cannon on Marky actually let them power through that fight.
And the CDR reduction really helped his playstyle. Very mobile, very slippery, and that's how TME came on top.
Let's break that down. This Genvi,
Oh,
even with a Feather Storm, he cannot. Funnily, he cannot fly over the Cataclysm, even with a Feather Storm. So he gets taken out here. And Koops, a little bit of a fail flash, but actually I think that fail flash saved him, because Awaken was there to help him. He still gets taken out, but look at Cannon, tanking so many hits. But JLC himself doing so much damage in the back line, being able to survive long enough for Trevor to arrive, and once Cannon gets taken down by Marky, he just cleans up house. And look at the JLC just smacks down Vanguard there.
And that's what happened in that clash. The members of AEX were split up because of the terrain. TME, they were comfortable around it, they were still solid. But for TME, they had to really bypass all this terrain. And we did see that Awaken missed one crucial Spirit Rush, managed to bump the wall.
What happened there also, how that decision came to be from TME, was that they had vision. They were waiting around the brush near the blue buff, right? And after a while, they didn't see AEX rotate there. So they made the prediction, okay, they're probably on the other side of the blue buff. So they get there, get the ward, and as soon as they see Genvi close to that ward, Koops goes immediately for the kill.
Wow, that's a super lockdown for Genvi. Gets prisoned by the members of TME and just gets mauled down. And now JLC and Koops maybe wanting to
Going
go
for the push here. They do have the Baron buff.
That combo, the Cataclysm, the Glacial Prison, is something you gotta watch out for.
And this actually extends their lead now to 7,000, 8,000 even, plus a Baron buff, means that this game is now heavily in TME's favor.
Let's see how AEX fends up this wave. Ultimates are all up for members of AEX. No summoners are up for the bot lane duo. Only Thompson has the flash, so when the clash does break out, it'll only be Thompson having that mobility.
1-3-1 configuration for TME, putting down a lot of pressure onto AEX. And I like how Trevor, he doesn't have the teleport, which is usually what you want for 1-3-1. But because he is Zed, has a little bit of mobility, plus the Yomus, and plus because they're already at inhibitor level, the distance that Trevor has to travel to help out his team is actually sakto, because he's a cleanup man, right? He's Zed. So once he arrives there with a little bit of distance from the bot lane inhibitor to the mid lane, it's actually enough for Marquee to have DPS down AEX, and that's the signal for Trevor to clean up.
Oh man, members of AEX cannot handle the pressure, and that Canyon minion is just poking down the health little by little, and that's what TME is doing. The time game where they have the advantage, and there it is. With Vanguard eating up that hook. Marking picks up kill. Marking flashes out of the Strangle Thorns. DLC comes in for the engage, backs away. They took down Vanguard. One of the dangers of it going all in. You don't go all in on Zyra.
And now they actually, because Vanguard was the one that got hooked, he gets instantly taken down. The Strangle Thorns actually push away TME. The thing though, since Marky did not build the Blade of the Wind King, and he has the Fervor of Battle, he has no way to recover his health after being chunked down the Vanguard, which actually pushes away the siege of TME a little bit.
And also doesn't have any lifesteal stat, as you said, so
yeah.
I wonder what he'll pick up next, but the game so far, TME is looking to close it.
Already has Infinity Edge, so the damage is still there. Misses the Blast Cone, but of course he is Zed, being able to just teleport into that with his Shadow. Easy Mountain Drake, which will make the siege from TME, the future 1-3-1 configuration after the reset, it will be much scarier. It will be 10% scary.
This is scary. TME, if they manage to win this, I can say with confidence that we have one of the really promising candidates going for GPL.
Man, yeah, powerful.
This is the pride of the Philippines team so far. Team Manila Eagles, clean game. This is a message.
Clean, not just a clean game. If they finish this, they'll be continuing this still with a clean split. And the teams following that will face up against TME still going to be very scared, have to respect that 8-0 or 7-0 or 7-1 if ever.
And after this, if they manage to sweep the game, that'll be 12 points. 12 points!
It's a huge lead over the rest of the teams in PGS. Man.
In a sense, they already locked in the first seed slot for the Gauntlet format.
It's definitely hard for the rest of the teams to actually catch up to that. If they do get that 12 points, let's say the rest of the teams are around at 5 or 6 points, they'll need like 2 2-0s to actually catch up to 12 points.
But in terms of statistics, I would say TME. I always say it, but for a reason, this is something that I've not expected in the summer split. Very refreshing to see TME with the roster changes coming in on top.
Yeah, definitely. They have the macro play on point, the micro as well as on their side. In some teams, if they go like clean in their group stage or anything, I'd say that, okay, they're not the #1 team. They're just pulling through because of mechanics. But here, TME, they can actually have everything on point, and that's how I can say TME is the #1 team in the Philippines right now.
And AEX having a hard time adjusting to the roster changes too, but it would be a setback for the bottom lane. Look at the kill and that gold deficit. Marky though going for the blood. That will be engaged. There's the hero's entrance to guard Kamsu. Coops managed to get away from the turret rage just in time. Now 4 members is onto the mid lane inhibitor turret. You can see that Trevor is still pressuring that bottom lane.
Instead of going for a 1-3-1, now they're going for a 0-4-1. They do not have the Baron buff any longer, so that actually prevents them from doing that configuration. But now they need to split up. Oh, that's just cannon though. That is just going to be cannon. Do not want to hook into that.
Oh, JLC eats up so much damage. Look at that, AEX still not giving up without a fight, just sieging against TME.
They are still quite delaying the inevitable though. Baron will be up in half a minute, and right now, I don't think they're in a position to contest that. They're 10,000 gold behind. If they go for TME, they can finish down that Baron so fast. And I don't think that's enough time for AEX. They still have their inhibitors up though, so they can still respond to any Baron calls from TME. But when they actually get there, they don't have vision. It will be too dangerous. So they definitely have to be on their toes here.
This is what we experienced from the 2-game series. Like in the first game of the starting match, we see that all teams go all in, all out, all mayhem. But when it comes to the second game, they adapt. They play it more safe, conservatively, because this is a high-stake match for both teams.
Definitely a high-stake match, but a mentality like that really only works for best of threes and best of fives. When it's like a 2-game series, you want to be able to have a strong opening just from game 1. Because if you lose in game 1 and then you say, okay, I'll recover in game 2, you're missing out on 2 more points if you get that win. So in a 2-game series, being able
more
to
pressure,
open,
in a way.
yeah, more pressure, and being able to open the 2-game series with a win already is actually huge compared to just adapting for the second game. The TME's been showing that consistently throughout the summer split.
And now, TME aiming to get the second Baron of the game with still Trevor in the bottom lane side. And now it would be Tabisu eating up that hook, and that would be a teleport channeling, and we will be seeing Cannon a bit too late. Marky managed to take him down. Awaken goes in for the flank, still leaving behind Trevor to push that bottom lane turret. And now inhibitor. That is bad news for AEX.
TME, I like how they're playing here. JLC just recovers all of his HP by recall.
They're not letting them back away. Coops is going in for Genvi, prisoning him in. Now he does not care. He's buying time. JLC Permafrost managed to help kill down Genvi. Cannon is left alone, and I think Marky will just be chipping down his health.
Definitely very tanky, but now Marky is godlike.
Marky-like.
And look at how all that Trevor.
Oh, the timing. Plus he has Guardian Angel and double the ace with.
It's definitely going to be a win for AEX. Kamsu cannot defend this alone. He is a 2-3 and 5 Lee Sin at 30 minutes in the game. He cannot deal damage to JLC, and Trevor fearlessly going on to him.
Oh, flashy footwork coming in from TME, and I think we have TME sweeping yet another team. AEX. Wow, the X-Champions for the last 2016 split has now been taking down the 3 titans we know so far. IBT, Mineski, AEX, overthrown by TME.
The roster changes, the training in the downtime they've had before the split pays off here with 12 points in the PGS right now. So strong, and I'm expecting more things from TME.
And I think we have one of the candidates for the GPL.
Definitely.
And going into the qualifiers and the finals. And I think of TME, I can say with confidence that I'm pretty excited what he can do or show and wait who will be the contender and facing them off in the challenging rampage.
And whoever that is has a lot of homework to do. Not just the picks and bans, but as well as their own micro and macro. It's not just the mechanics here, because we've seen the TME play their rotations so well, and how decisive they are, it's phenomenal. So then the team that will face up against TME next in any of their matches the rest of the split, they have to train like Rocky Balboa. Like they have to train like 12 hours per day.
They have to do their homework, study it properly, and also not to ignore the small facts.
Yes.
Should we just ban out Marky? That may not be the case. There might be a turnaround, but leave it to one of the next 3 teams who will be joining in for the playoffs. I gotta say, looking at the performance of TME, pretty solid, strong start, but let's hope that they still maintain it and to still practice in the end.
And AEX, they did last that long against TME. Like they were able to put out such a solid defense that TME had to like play them around and dance with them to just get the win. And that's definitely something good coming from AEX this game. Their defense was very solid. I think that having the Galio there was a big factor in being able to survive for 30 plus minutes.
So guys, there you have it. TME yet again sweeping another team with a very clean slate so far. Congratulations to TME for winning the first match of the first day of the 3rd week of the Bacchus Pro Gaming Series 2017 Summer Split. We have been the Shoutcasters. I am Vulcan, and joining with me is Atlas. We'll be back for the 2nd match. Stay tuned. Knocked up, and that would be a flash heal burn onto Genvi. Teleport's coming in, but Kamsu manages to secure the kill. GLC still onto Genvi, picks up the kill, and now he's left alone. Roxto, where's his lantern? A bit short on the cooldown, but in the mid lane, that's actually an outplay for Trevor. He managed to try to defend it. Kamsu making a clever move, backs out Trevor, and there is Awaken. Trevor still gets Garena.
Wait for it.
Wait for it, and Genvi gets pivoted by Cubs, and that'll be a kill. 1 man down, TME coming up top. Awaken bumps into the wall. Goes in for Marky. Cannondale really tries to zone out Marky. Coop will try to buy some time for his team. But we can see that Marky is left alone. Awakening from the side, going in onto Marky. Manages to miss the charge. And a death sentence connects onto Awaken. And JLC just leaves JLC.
We're going for it. Gets smacked down.
And now it would be Thompson eating up that hook, and that would be a cover channeling, and we will be seeing Cannon a bit too late. Marky managed to take him down. Awaken goes in for the flag, still leaving behind Trevor to push that bottom lane turret. And now inhibitor. That is bad news for AEX. And I think we have TME sweeping yet another team. AEX. Wow, the ex-champions for the last 26 split is now being taken down. The 3 Titans we know so far.